Good morning. Let's start the drill discussion. The first topic is on India Sri Lanka fishermen issue. 22 Indian fishermen were arrested on charges of trespassing into Sri Lankan water. Because while fishing in the high sea, at times Indian fishermen enter into the Sri Lankan water. That led to arrest of the Indian fishermen. Okay. So in the similar incident recently, so some Indian fishermen have been arrested. Okay. Okay. Crossing border, Indian fishermen often enter Sri Lankan water, leading to their arrest. For example, 69 fishermen have been arrested this year for such violation. Destructive fishing practices, they are accused of using bottom trawling, which is banned in Sri Lanka since July 2017. This method is harmful to marine life and the livelihood of Sri Lankan fishermen. Bottom trawling means so extracting fish from the deep sea. Okay. Then that is called destructive fishing practice, and Sri Lanka has banned this bottom trawling since 2017. But Indian fishermen use this practice, which is banned in Sri Lanka. But that is permitted. That is done illegally by the Indian fishermen, and when they do the same thing inside Sri Lankan water, so they are arrested. Then destructive geographical constraint under the Tamil Nadu Marine Fishing Regulation Act 1983, Indian fishermen can operate only beyond 3 nautical miles from their coast. Okay, 3 nautical miles from their coast. The proximity of the international maritime boundary line, just 9 nautical miles away, leads to frequent unintentional crossing. Okay, as per that Tamil Nadu law, they can undertake fishing up to 3 nautical miles. But then the next is that international water, when the maritime boundary line just 9 nautical miles away, that led to frequent unintentional crossing by Indians. Okay, and that led to the arrest of Indian fishermen by the okay. So that is what it is. This is the major reason of conflict. Implication of India: increased tension. The arrest continue to contribute to ongoing tension between India and Sri Lanka, affecting diplomatic relations. In humanitarian concern, the fishermen face long detention, with some remaining in custody for months. This raises humanitarian issue. But the issue is that even if the fishermen were released, but their fishing net and fishing boat, they are not released by the Sri Lankan authority. That led to loss of their livelihood. Even if they return back, but they loses their livelihood because their fishing boat and fishing net were kept by the Sri Lankan authority. The persons were released, but not their fishing implements. That led to the loss of their livelihood in the subsequent period. Okay, then impact on diplomatic relation. Despite high-level diplomatic intervention, including agreement for periodic meeting and working group, the issue remain unresolved, indicating strained relation between India and Sri Lanka. This is the major issue which has affected the relationship between the two countries, because once the fishermen were arrested, so the government of India put diplomatic initiative to release them, and regularly doing this affect the relationship between the two countries. Way forward, promote alternative fishing method, as India has promised to end bottom trawling and incentivizing deep sea fishing under the Blue Revolution scheme. More efforts are need to be ensure this transition from this bottom trawling. So India need to means avoid this type of fishing called the bottom trawling. Respect maritime boundary, educate and equip fishermen to avoid crossing into Sri Lankan water, considering the close proximity of the international maritime boundary line. Okay, as the international maritime boundary line is very close proximity, so that led to violation. But the fishermen should be trained and equipped, so they will be able to know when they are crossing the international boundary, so they will be restrained from that. So using the GPS technology or other technology enabled services, this can help the fishermen to not to violate the international fishing boundary, and thereby they will not face such situation. Then regularize diplomatic talk, implement uh, the agreed upon biannual meeting between the Minister of Fisheries, and ensure the joint working group on fishery meets every 3 months as planned. As per the planning, so the joint fishing group should meet 1 3 years interval. So right now they should be meeting regularly, which is not held as per the present provision. This is not being done regularly. This need to be done regularly. Okay, then address humanitarian concern as emphasized by the Indian Prime Minister. Treat the issue as a humanitarian concern, focusing on the well-being of the fishermen and their families. So, because the fishermen who are arrested, their family face humanitarian issue in the country. When their boat and fishing nets are seized, they also face economic hardship by losing their livelihood. These are the issues that are to be taken into consideration. And the second topic is a topic on polity and constitution, that is the Citizenship Amendment Act. The Ministry of Home Affairs notified the Citizenship Amendment Rules 2024 that could enable the implementation of the Citizenship Amendment Act. The CAA, enacted on December 12, 2019 and enforced on January 10, 2020, aimed to grant citizenship to migrant from Hindus, belonging to Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist, Jaina, Parsi or Christian community originating from Afghanistan, Bangladesh and Pakistan. Three countries: Bangladesh, Pakistan and Afghanistan. So the migrants from these three countries who have migrated to India, and non-Muslims, because they are facing atrocity there. So on that ground, so they have been granted, they will be granted citizenship in India. Okay, as per the provisions of the CAA, Citizenship Amendment Act. Okay, concern associated with the implementation of the CAA targeting a specific community. There are concerned that the CAA, coupled with the proposed National Register of Citizenship (NRC), may disproportionately benefit non-Muslim, excluding from the citizen register, while Muslim could face challenges in providing the free citizenship. Okay, because except Muslims, other community were allowed to get Indian citizenship. This will have its negative impact in the NRC. Okay. Issue the Northeast, the CAA contradicts the Assam Accord of 1985, which mandates the deportation of illegal migrants from Bangladesh irrespective of religion who enter Assam after 1st March 1971. Then after 1st March 1971, but here in the 2014, so 71 to 2014 is a big period, and those migrants who enter into India, especially Assam, after that, so the Assam Accord will be violated if this is put into practice. So Assam Accord signed between the government of India and the tripartite agreement, so will be violated by this. Okay, alleged violation of fundamental rights. Critics argue that CAA violates Article 14 of the Constitution, guaranteeing the right to equality, and undermines the secular principle of enshrined in Indian preamble, because people who belong to the Muslim are not allowed, but the person from other religions are allowed. This is violation of the fundamental rights, because there should be no discrimination as per the provisions of the article. Discrimination should not be there, but this CAA discriminates. This itself is a violation. Okay, so then okay, exclusion of other refugee. The act excludes refugee from like Tamil from Sri Lanka and Hindu Rohingya from Myanmar, raising concern about discrimination. Administrative challenges: differentiating between persecuting. Okay, between persecuted refugee and illegal migrant pose significant administrative challenges for the government. Fine. So administrative challenges is also one of the big issue. Then impact on bilateral relation. So the act focus on religious persecution in Afghanistan, Bangladesh and Pakistan, and strain India's bilateral tie with these countries, because the allegation is that there is religious persecution in these three countries, for which so the person from these three countries will be granted Indian citizenship. But this is a big allegation on those government, that so they conduct atrocity on the person belonging to this religion in their country. The Ministry of Home Affairs has clarified several aspects related to the CAA. Okay. Exclusion of Indian citizen. The CAA does not affect the right of Indian citizen in any way. Unchanged citizenship process. The existing legal process for acquiring Indian citizenship remain unchanged for foreigners, and Indian citizens remain unchanged for foreigners of any category, as outlined in the Citizenship Amendment Act of 1955. Continuation of eligibility criteria. So legal migration from any country and of any religion will continue to be eligible for Indian citizenship based on the existing eligibility criteria outlined in the law, like the citizenship by registration is there and it will remain in operation beyond the CAA. That means citizen of any other country beyond from this area will also be given citizenship as per the original citizenship acquisition provision under the citizen by registration. So they will be allowed. Okay, so they will be allowed to acquire Indian citizenship by that registration or naturalization. That is allowed. Okay. The next is the golden langur. Okay, there are around 7,396 golden langur in India according to a survey. So, what is the golden langur? It can be most easily recognized by the color of their fur, after which they are called as the golden color of their fur. That's why they are called as the golden langur. So, it has been noted that their fur change color as according to the season. The color of the young also differ from adults in that they have almost pure white. It is limited to Assam, India, and neighboring Bhutan, where they lived year around. The area they inhabit are restricted to the region surrounded by 4 geographical landmarks: the foothills of Bhutan in the north, Manas River in the east, Sankos River west, and the Brahmaputra River in the south. Conservation status: IUCN Endangered Sites Appendix 1, Wildlife Protection Act 1972 put them in the Schedule 1. So that is what is their status. Then the next topic is a topic in defense. It is called the Agni-5. Agni-5 is India's intercontinental ballistic missile (ICBM). India test fire Agni-5 ballistic missile with multiple warhead technology under mission Divyastra. Okay. So the flight test named Mission Divyastra was carried out from APJ Abdul Kalam Island in Odisha. The indigenously developed Agni-5 missile has multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles technology. Multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicle. This technology will ensure that a single missile can deploy multiple warheads at different locations. The maiden flight test of Agni-5, India's longest range ballistic missile, with a range of more than 5,000 km was conducted in April 2012 and has since been tested multiple times. It has also been canistered, which improves ease of handling and operation. Agni 5 uses a three-stage solid fuel engine and is capable of striking targets at a range of over 5,000 kilometers and can reach most part of China. DRDO officials have stated over the last several years that MIRV that re-entry vehicle, okay, multi-target re-entry vehicle tech was under development and this has been tested successfully. Then the large language model LMB inflection 2.3 inflection. Inflection AI launched its largest large language model inflection 2.5, which powers its friendly chatbot PI personal assistance. A large language model is a type of artificial intelligence algorithm that uses deep learning techniques and massively large data sets to understand, summarize, generate, and predict new content. Deep learning involves the probabilistic analysis of unstructured data, which eventually enables the deep learning model to recognize distinctions between pieces of content without human intervention. It helps to understand how characters, words, and sentence function together. PI chatbot and inflation 2.5. So PI is an AI chatbot with which one can have deep and meaningful conversation. The name of PI stands for personal intelligence. Compared to Chat GPT, PI is more human and has been promoted as a chatbot that has a personality. Inflation 2.5 is an upgraded model that is competitive with all the world's leading LLM like GPT-4 and the Gemini. Okay, with the new upgrade, PI has now been endowed with world-class real-time web search capability to ensure that users get access to high quality and up-to-date information in real time. Okay, so next is satellite-based tool collection. The government of India is collecting tool right now using the FASTag. Okay, toll gates are there to collect some charges on the users. Okay, and right now FASTags have been introduced by which vehicle fitted with FASTag, so the amount is debited from the account of the person driving or passing through the particular toll gates. Okay, there is no need to stand there, wait there in queue and make the payment in cash. It can be paid using your attaching your account number with the FASTag, and that is being done. So the government is planning to implement a highway toll collection system based on the global navigation satellite system. Okay, the global navigation satellite system GNSS refers to a constellation of satellite providing signal from space that transmit positioning and timing data to GNSS receivers. The receiver then use this data to determine location. Example of GNSS include Europe's Galileo, US's GPS, Russia's GLONASS, and Chinese Baidu. And India's NAVIC is the next generation of such satellite constellation. Okay, so how will the GNS based tool system work? The system will use an automatic number plate recognition system through camera installed on the highway and deduct tools based on the distance traveled by a vehicle. The device monitor the movement while driving, accurately making the entry and exit point to tooled segments by analyzing travel distance. It computes the charges accordingly. This eliminates the uniformity of fixed tools at booths, ensuring fairness for drivers traversing shorter distances. If they traverse shorter distance, they will be charged less than those who are traveling for long distance. Okay, so the current system of FASTag facilitates the process of electronic payment. Okay, electronic payment at the toll plaza, which has a scanner. This allows the vehicle to pass through the plaza without needing to stop. In the case of the GNS-based system, the toll will be deducted based on the distance measured by the ANPR technology, thereby making the toll plaza redundant. Toll plaza will no more be of any use because the system will utilize the travel distance and the vehicle has not, there should be no toll plaza, and the vehicle is not to be interrupted or stop at a particular point where the toll will be collected. Then Kerala declare man-animal conflict as a state disaster. Okay, Kerala has declared man-animal conflict as a state-specific disaster, and for that compensation will be paid. There has been reported death from animal attack and rising anger over them. At present, managing man-animal conflict is the responsibility of the Forest Department, which acts as per the Wildlife Protection Act. When the issue is declared a state-specific disaster, the owners to deal with it shift to the State Disaster Management Authority, which is powered by the Disaster Management Act. So they can come to the rescue of the person and give the benefit, especially the financial relief to the victims of the man-animal conflict. State and District Disaster Management Authority. At the state level, the Chief Minister is the ex officio chairman of the disaster management body. In the district, okay. So in 2015, Odisha has declared snake bite a state-specific disaster. In 2020, Kerala declared COVID as a state-specific disaster. Besides heat wave, sunburn and sunstroke have been declared so in 2019. Then come to the question, discuss the benefit of commercial coal mining in India and the challenges associated with it. Commercial coal mining. So India has shifted to the commercial coal mining regime. Commercial coal mining allow the private sector to mine coal commercially without placing any end-use restrictions. Under this, coal mining block are granted a competitive bidding process. Now, 100% of the foreign direct investment through automatic route is allowed in coal mining activity, including associated processing infrastructure. Associated processing infrastructure includes washery and facilities for crossing and coal handling. Okay, that is called as the associated activity in coal mining, because coal extraction, coal washing, and crushing it and carrying it all are associated with coal mining activity, right? And right now government allow 100% FDI in the coal mining activity. Okay, so benefit from commercial coal mining, reducing India's dependence on import. India meets a fifth of its annual requirement of coal through import. Commercial coal mining is expected to reduce this bill by at least one third. That means India will not depend upon import. Then modernizing the coal sector, a new mining measure will set new benchmark in terms of mechanization, automation, mining practices, etc. Development of states, the entire revenue from the auction of coal mines could accrue to the coal bearing states. This could incentivize them to utilize the revenue occurred for the growth of development of the backward areas. In a captive coal mining company were not required to pay royalty to states as mineral coal was meant for their own end use. Enhancing the productivity of the coal sector, opening the sector to private players and foreign investment will end the monopoly of Coal India Limited and bring in competition. Also, earlier captive coal mining entity has no incentive to enhance their production beyond their own need. Captive coal mine is given to those who have own coal requirement. The industry having own coal requirement were allocated the captive coal mines which they can use, but they will extract only that much of coal as required by them. They are not to go for commercial mining to sell the coal. Development of aspirational district. Most of the mines auctioned under the new norms are in the aspirational districts. The 112 these mines would create employment as well as other economic opportunity in the area which are most backward. Aspirational district program is launched by Government of India in the most backward districts for holistic development in the convergence of the programs, the center and the state and the local district administration. Then challenges such as so broad eligibility criteria. The new regime is allowing those who have no previous mining experience. They may turn out to be non-serious bidder who may use coal mines as asset to leverage in the market without an intention of actually mining them, as happened during 2000. Overexploitation of resources. As under the new regime, there is no restrictions on end use. It might lead to more and more coal mining for profit in a shorter period of time. They will extract more than their requirement and they will sell it domestically and export it also. Okay, so concern of the state government, state like Jharkhand are raising concern that the new regime, okay, will lead to destruction of vital forest cover and its tribal community will be displaced. Deep pocket and risk management capabilities are needed after winning the coal auction. Rehabilitation and resettlement needs to be managed. Very few farm in India today have the financial and risk management capability to go through all of this. To make the new commercial coal regime a success, few steps such as addressing the concern of the state regarding their revenue share, enacting sustainable coal mining code for removing overlapping jurisdictions of multiple body, etc., need to be taken into consideration before this is implemented. Then come to the MCQs. Consider the following statement with respect to the Uttar Purba transformative industrialization scheme, Unnati. It is aimed at developing industries and generating employment in the aspirational districts. No, this will be a central sponsored scheme. Incorrect. Implementation of the scheme will be overseen by the Minister of Heavy Industries. So none of these is correct. That dolutegravir seen in news is a antiretroviral drug used in treatment of HIV/AIDS. Consider the following statement regarding the Article 131 of the Constitution. The Supreme Court of India has exclusive and original jurisdiction over legal issue originating between states or between states and the Union. That is correct. The original jurisdiction also extends to dispute arising out of treaty agreement which came into being before the commencement of the Constitution. This is wrong. Only one is correct. Two is incorrect. Consider the following statement with respect to the Uncover program. It is a part of the James Webb Space Telescope initiative. Correct. It aims to study ultra low luminosity galaxies responsible for the ionization. So here both 1 and 2 are correct. Consider the following statement about the Einstein probe. The goal of the Einstein probe is to explore the transit and variable X-ray sky capturing powerful bursts of high energy light. That is correct. And it is a joint initiative of the Indian Space Organization and the European Space Agency. That is wrong. Carbon border adjustment management, a tariff on carbon intensive product, is a mechanism of which of the following organization with the European Union is dealing with the carbon border management. Any producer producing not following the carbon border management as to its goods should be taxed higher in the when they enter into European market. Then 6. Consider the following statement about the Pong Dam. So it is highest earth fill dam in the India and is one of the India's largest man-made reservoir. It's incorrect. It's located on the river Bhagirathi in the east of Uttarakhand. Right. Pong Dam Lake Bird Sanctuary is the vicinity of the reservoir declared as a Ramsar site. Only 2 are correct. Consider the following country: Oman, Saudi Arabia, Sudan, and Iran. Which of the above mentioned countries share coastal line with the Red Sea? Here 2 and 3 share. 2 and 3 means Saudi Arabia and Sudan. They share coastal line with the Red Sea. With reference to the square kilometer area observatory, consider the following statement. Its aims is to build and operate cutting edge radio telescope to transform the understanding of the universe. That's incorrect. Headquarters is located in USA, right? Okay. As that Sigartis megamalanitis is recently news. It is a type of butterfly. So thank you for watching. Watch regularly to update yourself on a daily basis.